Welcome to the news as brought to you live on the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN Television. I am Ngozi Adiibe. The Primate of all Nigeria Anglican Communion, the Most Reverend Nicholas Dioko, has called on Nigerian politicians to imbibe integrity as a leadership trait in order to pull the country out of its shameful state. He also said that integrity is also needed in other sectors such as education and even in the church. Primate Oko issued this call while delivering a sermon at the funeral service of the former Vice President of Nigeria, late Dr. Alex Ifeanyi Chukwu-Ekwueme. In his message, he called on politicians to desist from deceiving Nigerians with what he called stomach infrastructure when they require votes, only to abandon the poor masses when they are in leadership positions. The Most Reverend Oko admonished politicians to be proactive in the development of facilities so as to curb the shame on Nigeria in the eyes of the international community.
Every time a great Nigerian is sick, the immediate reaction is fly him abroad. Fly him abroad. Last year, I had the privilege to visit so many parts of Canada. And I discovered that there is hardly any town or city or village in Canada that you don't find a Nigerian medical personnel. One of them was with me. I just stumbled upon him in one of the towns in Canada. Then I said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Yes, you, what are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm doing my work. I'm going around to see our people." I said, "Why are you here?" He says, "Sir, medical practice has enough challenges. I do not think I should add the challenge of asking for my salary. I do not think I should add the challenge of the material to use for the work. I do not think I should add the challenge of going on strike before I can do my work. That I am tired of that type of life and system. That's what brought me here." So those of you who have the responsibility to make our young people think well, the situation now is very serious. As soon as they qualify as consultants, they are looking for the way out. They are looking for the way out. And consequently, our great people have nobody to attend to them. When there is a problem, fly him abroad. I want you to imagine the amount of money that we spend in British hospitals, in Dubai hospitals, in Indian hospitals, in American hospitals. Not that there will be a time when it will be completely out of place, but we can reduce it by 70%. We can reduce it, and I testify that our medical personnel are as qualified as anybody else.
He commented that the revamp of Nigerian medical facilities as well as other sectors will not only keep our best medical practitioners back in the country, but will also save Nigeria lots of money and deep-seated shame that has been rubbed on its face over the years. The Christian Association of Nigeria has said it will be compelled to make it a law for any Christian believer to produce his or her own voter's card before being allowed to attend any mass or service. The chairman Plateau State chapter of CAN, Reverend Soja Berorang, gave this hint at the 3rd annual Plateau State Prayer Day, organized by the State CAN in conjunction with the Plateau State government. Berorang expressed dismay over the lack of unity among Christians, saying political or denominations differences between Christians remains the impediment of the progress of the Christian faith in Nigeria. He, however, charged Plateau State Christians to shun such sentiments and love one another for the progress and development of the state, adding that the church as a body would be compelled to take stringent measures against any member that fails to obtain a voter's card to exercise his or her civic responsibility in future elections in the country. Meanwhile, in his address, the governor of Plateau State, Simon Bako Lalong, begged the people to always verify any information at their disposal before taking it to the market squares, especially information pertaining his government. The governor lamented that but for the propaganda by some people who have chosen to politicize the issue, his government has never initiated the establishment or creation of grazing reserves. Also during the event, the Catholic Archbishop of Jos, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, commended Lalong and Khan for organizing the prayer session, saying the event has helped the governor in clearing the air on fundamental issues disturbing the minds of the people. With the recent calls from different religious leaders, Christian and Muslim alike, asking their members to go and get their voters' card to be able to exercise their franchise in the upcoming general elections, many Nigerians have heeded to this call, as many have trooped out in their numbers to get their voters' card. Here is Ogechukwu Wanne with the report.
Nigerians at some registration centers in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have lamented over the difficulty they face getting registered for their voters' card. Some are of the view that the process is very slow and there are very few centers available for the registration.
Just trying to register for the first time. I have never exercised my right as a citizen of Nigeria. I have never tried it. It's either I'm out of the country or I'm not interested. But the situation of things in Nigeria, I decided that I'm going to take the pain to make sure I get my PVC. But it has not been easy. The volume of the people is quite much. The systems are obsolete. The staffs are short. They are not meeting the crowd that needs to be attended to.
If you take a look behind, you can even see, number one, the number of people that are here as against the number of staff that have been deployed by INEC. That's number one. Number two, what are we doing under a mango tree in a secondary school with INEC, that is the primary body to make sure that we get our elected officials? Now, when we spoke to a few of them, they said that it's because they don't have enough money. Why is it that in Nigeria, every single time we're going to do something, somebody is sitting on the money or not releasing the money or that? Then they told us that the system was slow. Then they told us that there are other centers. But if you look at the list that they gave, half the centers do not exist. And then the ones that even exist, if you go there, there's nobody there, and nobody is holding them there. The people that they deploy to those places are responsible.
It's a tedious process, to be truthful to you, because I went to 2-3 centers, the one in Wuse Zone 3, and my own area in Gwarimpa, you understand, and then area 1, of course. They are using just one laptop, and then for 1,001 people. You understand, just one person registering, the other person is doing transfer, and then the other person is doing the printout. So it's, can I say, a heinous process. It's not just easy at all.
When a resident of Abuja was asked to advise the federal government on what to do in order for the process to be stress-free, she said that the federal government knows the right thing to do and that all Nigerians want is good governance and proper utilization of any fund released.
What have we been crying about since? Professionalism, leadership, good governance, stop eating the money, give it for work, for crying out loud. How can INEC put people under a mango tree? And then when we were insulted by Trump that we're a shithole country, we got angry. Will America register its citizens under a mango tree with bad equipment, with not enough staff? Haba.
Other residents called on other citizens of the country not to be discouraged because of the tedious process they have to go through before getting their voters' card.
Every Nigerian to come and make sure you have your PVC, because the PVC is your voice. And if you have not done your transfer of your PVC, it's a high time for you to transfer your PVC to your village where you can vote. And if Abuja is conducive for you to vote, transfer it to the area that is closer to you.
Everyone out there, if you are 18 and above, please come out and get your PVC. Don't be discouraged. Don't feel that, oh, I'm wasting my time. You can go and come back. Just come out. Let us get this PVC. Let's cast our vote and let our vote count.
Message that everybody should go out and vote. the revolution is not by arms, it's not by power, but by a voter's card.
So everybody should come out, and I know it's discouraging because a lot of people have stopped coming. But if we want to change leadership, you can't sit in your house. I've learned that now the hard way. So you have to come out.
Nevertheless, some others claim that the process is not slow, commending INEC officials for carrying out their job diligently. Wanni Ogechukwu, reporting for ACNN News.
Still to come, Nigerians in the diaspora express eagerness to invest in Nigeria. Please stay with us.
For me, living to please God is simply living according to the word of God.
Pleasing God entails you staying with your wife in understanding according to the scripture, exactly. Not in beating her.
The Benue community has called on 4 regional socio-cultural organizations in the country, among them Afenifere, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Middle Belt Forum, and people of the Niger Delta, to join forces with it to defend its people against attacks by Fulani herdsmen. The Benue community may have made the call following the hand of friendship extended to it by the regions under the aegis of South-South Middle Belt Forum in January. The leaders of the South-South Middle Belt Forum, who were in the state last month to condole with the state government, Samuel Otom, had said the Benue people should call on them in time of need. The 12 ethnic nationalities also threw their weight behind the call for restructuring of the nation, especially regarding the call for state police. Their decision is hinged on the basis that they have lost confidence in security agencies in the country, including the Nigerian police, to defend its people against attacks by Fulani herdsmen. Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has reacted to a statement by the Nigerian army that Boko Haram has been defeated. Fayose said there was no need to approve the $1 billion from the excess crude account for anti-insurgency fights following the defeat. The theater commander, Operation Lafia Door, Major General Rogers Nicholas, on Sunday said the Nigerian army has completely defeated the Boko Haram insurgents. He disclosed that hundreds of insurgents had surrendered and several others fled their enclave, while over 100 civilians were rescued.
In the course of our operation yesterday evening and early hours of this morning, we've been able to dislodge the Boko Haram from some parts of the Camp Zero camps. In the Camp Zero is a very big place, so there are various camps in the Camp Zero area. We've been able to dislodge them completely out of those places. And because of this action, we came across this large number of people, children, women, and elderly people that the Boko Haram have kept against their will. And the place was heavily protected by armed men of the Boko Haram. Our brave soldiers, in conjunction with the support of the Air Force, was able to dislodge and kill all Boko Haram members that were within that camp, to be able to rescue this large number of people you are seeing here. Over 80 of them. Some of them are currently receiving treatment in the hospital in the Air Force base.
Reacting, Fayose on his official Twitter page wrote that the military authorities have revealed that the army has completely defeated Boko Haram insurgents in the country, stressing that there is no need for anyone to canvass argument in support of the federal government's plan to spend $1 billion from the excess crude account. One person has been reported dead after suspected Boko Haram terrorists attacked Kala village opposite the internally displaced persons camp in Dalore, Borno State. According to an official of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Mr. Bello Dambata, the attack occurred on Sunday night. Dambata said the disease was set on fire by the insurgents, who also injured another man during the attack and burnt down some houses. Abdulrasheed Maina, former chairman of the Presidential Task Force on Pension Reform, has filed a 10 billion naira suit against Ibrahim Magu, acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. In the suit filed before a high court in Lafia, Nasarawa State, Maina accused Magu of granting press interviews which are slanderous, untrue and malicious. In the writ of summons, James Oyilo, Maina's counsel, asked the court for a declaration that the interview granted in November and December are defamatory, slanderous, untrue, injurious, and intended to lower the reputation and integrity of the plaintiff. He also asked the court to order the defendants to retract and publish an unreserved apology to the plaintiff in at least 3 daily newspapers within 7 days from the day of the judgment. He asked the court to restrain the EFCC head from making comments considered defamatory of the plaintiff. Maina also asked for an order directing the defendants to pay jointly the sum of 10 billion naira as damages for the publications. A former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Olisa Metu, on Monday appeared in Abuja court on a stretcher. It will be recalled that Metu is standing trial for alleged money laundering of 400 million naira. The money is part of the funds linked with former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki. The politician was brought in a stretcher into the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday, following the threat by Justice Okon Abang to revoke his bail if he fails to appear in court Monday. His lawyer Onyekachi Ikpeazu told the court that he was on admission at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital for an undisclosed ailment. Ikpeazu presented a letter written by a doctor in the hospital to the court, but both the judge and the prosecutor questioned the authenticity of the letter. The judge said that the letter which Metu wanted the court to rely on to grant the adjournment was not a proper document before the court. After Metu's dramatic appearance on Monday, Justice Abang expressed his satisfaction with the proof of his situation and adjourned the trial till March the 15th. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State has assured that the Asaba International Airport will be functional in the next 4 months. Okowa made the disclosure in Kwale during a meeting of members of the People's Democratic Party in Delta North Senatorial District. According to the governor, his administration is committed to delivering dividends of democracy to Deltans, noting that the Asaba International Airport is very important to the social-economic development of Delta State and neighboring states. The President of the Senate, Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki, has urged African leaders to shift emphasis from the current theoretical system of impacting knowledge in higher education system to practical skills-based approach in order to radically turn around the fortunes of the continent. Saraki made the call while delivering a keynote address at the 2018 Georgetown African Business Conference in Washington, D.C., United States of America. The conference was hosted by the Georgetown's McDonough School of Business in conjunction with the Walsh School of Foreign Service African Studies Program. Saraki, according to a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Sonny Onogu, said that the much talked about rapid industrialization of the continent will remain a mirage if her leaders fail to adopt modern trends in vocational and technical education. He stated that even though Africa is blessed with a large youth population, the continent cannot benefit without making them useful, innovative and productive in line with global trends. He made a passionate appeal for quality higher education and the creation of the right conditions and opportunities for entrepreneurship and employment in both Nigeria and Africa, while urging the world to take note that truly Africa has come of age. A group of accomplished Nigerian professionals in the US have expressed their eagerness to come home and invest in the Nigerian economy to fast-track the development of the country. Some of the professionals who spoke at the inauguration of the Nigerian-American Business Forum at Florida said they were determined to use their wealth of experience to develop their fatherland. They said many of them started out from Nigeria, where they had free world-class education and were able to compete and succeed on the global stage, adding that it is now time to give back to their country. The forum inaugurated several work groups tasked with fashioning out practicable solutions to some of the challenges currently mitigating against the development of the country. The Infrastructure and Technology Work Group constitutes of professionals within America's Fortune 500 corporation with expertise in engineering, information technology, architecture, electrical power, and modern agriculture infrastructure, among others. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the news as brought to you live on the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN Television. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android, iOS, and Windows devices from their respective stores. And now to foreign news. The Anglican Church of Congo has asked Anglicans around the world to join in prayers for peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo as tribal violence continues to claim lives in the Ituri province in the northeastern area of the country. The Reverend Bisoke Balikenga, National Youth Coordinator of the province of the Anglican Church of Congo, made this known as the tribal wars in Democratic Republic of Congo continues. In his statement, he lamented the closing down of some business outlets and areas such as shops and petrol stations in Bunia, and the fact that some young people like to cause chaos. The Ituri city of Bunia is home to one of the largest UN peacekeeping forces in Africa. Hence, international troops are seeking to intercede between the warring Lendu and Hema people. The presiding bishop of the US-based Episcopal Anglican Church, Michael Corey, and Archbishop Fred Hiltz of the Anglican Church of Canada, together with their Lutheran colleagues, have offered a series of Lenten reflections. Together with presiding Bishop Elizabeth Eaton of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America and National Bishop Susan Johnson from the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Canada, they have prepared reflections for Ash Wednesday, the 5 weeks in Lent, Palm Sunday, and the Triduum. The theme for the reflections is Set Free by Truth. Speaking on the upcoming Lenten program, Archbishop Fred Hiltz of Church of Canada said that Lent is a time for one to be especially mindful of any and every arrogance, reflecting the thoughts that some people are superior to others. He also spoke of the sins of racism, ethnic cleansing, and government-enforced policies, and admonished that Lent is a season to confess these sins against one's brethren, adding that it is also a time to correct attitudes, words, and actions, blatant or subtle, that perpetuate these sins. The Anglican Alliance, a platform for those across the Anglican Communion who work for a world free of poverty and injustice, to be a voice for the voiceless, to reconcile those in conflict, and to safeguard the earth, has launched a year-long focus on anti-slavery initiatives across the Communion. Through its Freedom Year initiative, the Alliance is inviting people to learn more about human trafficking and modern slavery in the world today. to pray for change and take action to end it. According to the Alliance, a Freedom Year booklet, which will soon be available in Portuguese, Spanish and French, contains monthly themes and activities to help take action and encourage one to join the fight against human trafficking and modern slavery, both locally and globally.
I'm Rachel Carnegie, and I'm the Co-Executive Director of the Anglican Alliance. And welcome to this video about Freedom Year. The Freedom Year is an initiative that the Anglican Alliance is launching for 2018. We seek to invite you to join us on a journey together when churches around the communion will work on tackling the terrible crime of modern slavery. Individually it's very hard to do something, but together and in this Freedom Year, we really pray to God that we can make a difference.
Africa is probably the single largest source, among the single largest sources of people who are trafficked, and also a transit point, and also a destination in some cases. We also have people who are smuggled. These are people who are not necessarily trafficked, but they are assisted to cross borders to work in institutions where they're not sure what they're going to find, and so you find such people tend to be trafficked once a month.
And on the sports scene, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Solomon Dalong, has reacted to Nigerians' 4-0 loss in the final of this year's African Nations Championship. The home-based Super Eagles were thrashed 4-0 by Morocco, who became the first country to host and win the competition. Dalong, who was in Morocco to cheer the Super Eagles B team in their first ever CHAN final, said that in the history of Nigerians' participation in CHAN, in which this is the 5th edition, this is the first time Nigeria played at the final, and the team did very well despite all odds.
بنون يتقدم بنون على ارجح ستكون الفرصه الاخيره للمنتخب المغربي بين يا شبيره يلا يا شبيره يلا يا شبيره يلا جول يلا جول يلا جول يلا جول الله يا حدريف النفاذ الرجويه تمنح الافضليه للنخبه المغربيه. معلم يا حدريف معلم جابها في الشباك زكريا حدريف بعد انطلاقه ذكيه من عبد الجليل جبيره. شوف الصوره الهربه يا جبيره الهربه والانسلال حطها له بالملي وزكريا بلمسه واحده بضربه واحده ضربه معلم يا حدريف ضربه معلم يا حدريف يستغل السوء التغطيه الدفاعيه وهاتها من الشباك يا جيبوي هاتها من الشباك صناعه رجويه 100% بنون وجبيره وحدريف اللمسه الثالثه حطها في الشباك النيجيري.
Dalong said there are also some technical amendments that need to be addressed, which will be discussed with the coach of the team. But according to him, on the average, coming second in Morocco, playing under the rains for 90 minutes with very terrible weather conditions of about 7 degrees centigrade, one could say these factors mitigated against their effective performance. And so that's it on the news that's brought to you on the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN Television. I am Ngozi Adiibe. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless you.